5 elements, electromagnetics, unified thoughts. I clear all diseases using a zap or organ. My voice is organic, I absorb light codes in volcanic force. Magnetized vocals, inhale the blue thoughts. Chakra filling, spiraling my organ, unify intelligent formulas. Open.
Today I want to talk about the nature of expressing yourself honestly as an individual, as a self, as a soul, or whatever you want to call it. You know, the nature of expressing yourself is so important, and expressing yourself honestly has a particular vibration which ties you into who you are and what you are about to become and about to be. Now, what is it that we are? We are looking at this aspect of ourselves in different things. You know, people want to express themselves, but sometimes, do you actually express yourself honestly? Or is it just a person which is covering who you truly are? So let us tie into this. Most people send Facebook statuses, WhatsApp statuses, Twitter statuses, all these types of statuses. But are you speaking as a person, or are you speaking as a self? The higher self, the cosmic self. What is it that are you speaking of? So we're going to delve into this right now, and we're going to open up the sectors of your mind to identify who the self truly is. So in astrology, or should we say in astrology, astronomy, astrology, so we find obviously the sun being our mental perspective, our personality, where we show people our person, or the person that we want to show others. You know, sometimes that in itself is not who you truly are. When you look at the heavens, when you look at the sky on a beautiful day, what you see is a sun, and the sun represents the ego. This ego self is not the true you. It's what other people would like to see you as, in a sense. No, we would say that it's what you want other people to see you as. Sorry. And so basically, what you find is, in astrology, the moon hides and the sun projects, or is protecting you by putting on a false personality. So in essence, the real magic of astrology and the self is discovering the whole science of the astral plane. What is the astral plane? Well, the astral plane is the place where we go at night when we sleep, when we travel in different places. When we pass to the next phase of our existence, we go into the astral plane. And obviously the astral plane comes from the word astro, and astro is astrology. And what we find is astrology is the science of the stars. And so in astrology, here what we have is a chart, and this is what we call the rising in the chart. Okay, this is what we call the rising, and then you have the planets, which are all around your birth chart, and then the main observation is the sun and the moon. And those two lights are actually describing who you are. And they represent the three bodies. Now, the first body is the physical body. The second body is the emotional body. And the last body is the mental, I'd say mental body. Okay? And these three sets of lights are the true nature of the expression of the true self. But the true self, in essence, comes from a place called the East. The rising of the East, the morning star, the rising star, the rising sign. And the rising sign is the soul. So, this means that the first echo, the sound that gets echoed into the universe when you are born, is on the rising sign. And whatever your sign is when you was born is not the same as your star sign, which obviously is only giving off your personality. And so this means that the rising sign is sort of like the veil. It's the secret of you. It's who you truly are as a true sign, as a true expression, which other people don't seem to see. And it's the veil. It's the true self. It's the animal that is perceived in your face. It is part of your true nature. And this is where your soul comes from. This is the light that can see before it explodes. It's the morning star. It's the morning sun. And that's the key. So meaning that when you see the rising sign or the rising sun, you can express yourself as a true self, as a true soul. So, remember, this video is about expressing yourself honestly. So let's get down to it. So the sun will be the mental body, the ego, our sense of person, what we want other people to see on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. Our true nature is our emotional self, which is our lunar nature. So the sun, in essence, is that state where we think we want to show and what we seek to show. The moon is our hidden side, our sense. So when we look at astrology, we're looking at the sun and the moon really expressing themselves. And the other planets are just the adjustment of the same energy which is expressing itself in nature. And so these are the three bodies. The physical body, the emotional and the mental body. The physical body is you as a soul coming into earth, manifesting itself as itself and composing itself to structure yourself to show who you truly are. Because the physical body doesn't lie. It holds emotions, it holds feelings. So this is why you look a particular way based upon your thinking pattern. You manifested this body in this reality. And so this means that the manifestation of the expression of the self manifests on the physical plane, which is the physical body. Okay? Whoa. I wanted to talk about one thing that I wanted to add in relation to that. It was to do with the Kabbalah. But I don't seem to have a chart. I thought I did. Okay, so basically, there's this new theory going on at the moment about the Earth being flat. And obviously the Earth not being round. Okay, not being round. So, the best way to describe it is in the sense of the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah has 11 spheres or 11 circles, and obviously it connects to different dots. And in the bottom you have Malkuth. And Malkuth represents the earth. It represents the earth. And one of the key signs for the earth manifesting itself is Virgo, which is around here somewhere. Virgo is the sign of manifestation. It's the mother, the birth, coming into the world. And what tends to happen is most people dwell in this place here without connecting to the soul, which is obviously up here. Okay, there's 11 spheres and the last sphere is up here. So basically, the earth in itself, or the flat earth theory, let's put it into simple terms. The earth in itself is actually a plane of existence where we manifest, and obviously it's our position. So our position is to live in this plane to learn a particular lesson. Now, in real essence, we don't know whether the planet is round or flat. We know that we are living here and we are manifesting right here based upon the soul, which is obviously in the body, creating a personality in the body. So that is only a actual perception of existence. So in essence, it's only a projection, because when you sleep, you actually believe that your dream is actually real. So therefore means the dream that you perceive as real could also be a reality, which is obviously in essence. So this reality that you're living in is another plane of existence. So then you go into the next plane of existence. In the Kabbalah they call it Yesod. So Yesod is just above Malkuth, which is the earth plane. Actually, in fact, Malkuth is obviously the kingdom. Now here's the trick and the magical key here. The kingdom. And obviously, if you live in England, you will know that England is called United Kingdom, and meaning that it's the grounding spot of a manifestation point of energies. And so this is one of the key factors to figure out where we're playing in this energy field. And here you have the mother, the queen, which she would call herself a particular aspect of herself. This is why she would reside in a place and she would call her kingdom United Kingdom. So we're not going to dwell into that so deeply, but we're going to express what it means. And so at the top, like I was saying, of the spheres, you have Kepha. Kepha is another degree in the Kabbalah, the tree of life. We call it the tree of life in essence. And Kepha manifests itself into Malkuth, because as above, so below. So that's the nature of thinking. So where I'm going with this flat earth theory is that whether this earth be flat or not, there is still something to be left when you leave this existence. And that is the legacy, which I'm about to talk about now. The legacy is the symbol of the earth. This is the symbol for the earth. In astrology, this is the symbol for the earth. And the legacy is your opposite sign, opposite sun sign, your opposite person. The legacy is what you leave on earth. And so the best way to perceive what you leave on earth is by perceiving the reflection of the earth. So therefore means you manifest as a rising sign, but you are speaking to people through the personality, which is your star sign. The star sign, for example, could be Libra. And if your star sign is Libra, your manifestation of reality becomes Aries. And therefore means Aries will be the legacy that you leave on earth. Because the sun hits the earth, but the reflection of the earth would be Aries, because Aries is the opposite sign to Libra. So the legacy is Aries. So that will be what you leave as a sign, as a person in this realm. You leave the legacy of that person. So you're doing the duty of the earth. You are doing a duty to the earth. So now this is the duty that you came to express yourself, right? But your true sign is actually still here. You have only expressed a part of yourself, which is the personality or the ego. Okay? So now, how do you tap into the true self, which is hiding behind the ego, which is only leaving the legacy of the earth and not your legacy? The earth has a particular manifestation and a destiny for itself, as well as the universe. But you also have a manifestation and a degree of manifestation as a soul and as a universe. And therefore means that you need to leave the destiny point in this earth as well as your true nature. So, here's the key. The science is in the moon sign. Your moon sign is actually your emotional protection, and it governs the astral plane, the astrology. And so again, the moon sign is governing a part of your true self, a part of your true nature, because it governs the aspect of your mind which actually is emotional and receptive. And so it represents the mother. Okay? And within that self, in itself, it then has the highlight of the rising sign. Because to get to the true source and nature of your rising sign, you have to look at the emotional body, which is your actual mind. And that is the hidden side of your true self. So you manifest as a constellational energy field, which then resonates and leaves a force field into the rising sign. So therefore mean your next incarnation is always reflected or based upon the emotional body, which then gives off to the rising sign. And the rising sign is the morning sign. And then in astrology, when you go beyond Western astrology, you have the 28 nakshatras, which are the 28 parts of the moon's constellation, which obviously is linked to the major astronomical points and fixed stars in the heavens. And so therefore means your nature of thinking is governed by all these points where planets are positioned, and is given off a particular vibrational field of energy. And so in relations to that, we now could say, or now can say, that Soma in the Vedic scriptures is the moon. The moon, or Soma in French, is Sommeil. Sommeil means to be just about to go into sleep, just about to daze into a next sleep. And that is the nature of the moon, to be or to create a receptive kind of state of emotion. And each individual has a state of Soma, or state of sleep. And the moon is to do with sleep. The moon is the creative nature, the emotional nature of sleep. And in essence, the moon deals with frequencies. Okay? Right. The nature of this video is actually to express the natural spring equinox. And the spring equinox is to be expressing your true self in reflection to the sun, which is exalted, but in essence reflecting from the moon. And so the frequency of the moon obviously gives birth to your rising sign. So your rising sign is actually speaking and telling you about your true nature. And so in simple terms, what we have to do is express our rising sign by looking at the emotional side and figuring out how did this emotional projection manifest itself, and then coinciding it and figuring out where the rising energy is dwelling. And this is how you figure out the true nature of yourself. But you must understand what the moon is doing in your birth chart. And this is where I'm going with it. To express yourself honestly is to be your moon sign. To be who you are naturally without holding back emotions. Because the moment you hold back emotions, you then become the person again. And then the person holds and creates an ego, which then has to create another form of expression, which then holds its emotional energy into the rising sign. And so therefore means you manifest a new rising sign. So your rising sign could be Leo, Libra, Virgo, whatever sign it might be. But you manifest that rising sign based upon what you hold in your physical nature. And then you manifest it, obviously, because the emotions that you hold will manifest into the ego, and then the ego will then hold it into the physical body, which then your new physical body would be of that manifestation which you withheld as pent emotions from the emotional body. So this is why in astrology you must look at the emotional body, the astral plane, or your astral nature, to figure out how to balance these three bodies. The physical body is linked to the food that you eat, the emotional body. And so those two work hand in hand. And then the mental body fixes itself based upon its thoughts. So the whole aim of astrology is to reach moksha. And moksha is enlightenment, liberation, to be out of this earth. And the key is actually to know who your true self is. And this is why I wanted to express the nature of expressing yourself honestly. Even though this video seemed a bit complicated, and I hope you got the drift of it, if you would like to get a deeper understanding of what it is and how to figure out what your soul's purpose is, and figure out what your true emotional body and your emotional nature is, to kind of express that self naturally and then become your true self, where you remove all the layers of the animal nature and you manifest as the true soul, the true self, what the true self is trying to express, right? Then feel free to deeply go into this and contact me, and I will basically do you a birth chart reading and get deeper into the layer of what is really going on in your birth chart and who you truly are as an individual, as a person, as a rising sign, and what your true nature and purpose is. And so the aim would be to not only leave a legacy for the earth, but a legacy for yourself. Because as much as the earth is growing, you are growing too. You are another earth, another universe, universe, another earth, and you are basically projecting yourself to recreate another energy source which other beings are also experiencing within yourself. Thank you for watching this video, and keep in touch, keep watching the videos. I will be posting more soon. Hope you enjoyed this very much. Have a great equinox, have a great beginning of the spectrum of the universe. Blessings.
Myself in all forces and elementals, I calculate mental behaviors on a sharp angle. In relation to my right brain, stimulate wave handle. The government studied my brain using broadcast commercials. They took Obama's energy as a candle, directing the fire from the candle, using matches, emotions and feelings towards the public sentimentals. As the candle blows off, you'll be confused by the triangle. I'm the sign, the war with the reptilians and Michael. I'm the mirror reflection of the night ether gas pool. My education was poor until I went back to cipher schools. Mystic genetics, the laws of the metaphysicals. I speak descriptive like the magician's symbol placed on a tablet, speaking to 5 elementals. The Most High said, connect with your ancestral. Skin to skin beside the skin inside your blood vessels. Identity, the spirit speaks in thoughts. The air absorbs the flame, talk, walks, flows towards the waters. The earth becomes the source. 5 elements, electromagnetics, unified thoughts. The spirit speaks in force. The air absorbs, the flame talks, walks, flows towards the waters. The earth becomes the source. 5 elements, electromagnetic, unified force. I'm in the presence of the omnipresence. I'm in the essence, learning lessons as an adolescent about spiritual weapons, present perceptions, deceptions about historic lectures made Hannibal Lecters. People redirect and infect us. I astral project the Stonehenge, collect the energy they left and enhance it using rituals for the 90th quest. I manifested my own death to the spirit realm I left. My right brain is the main brain cause I disabled the left. Did you know? Each chakra relates to a musical note part. My third eye's purple, it turns on when you press G sharp. Visualization puts me in touch with lost civilizations. But first I gotta connect to the earth with the elemental meditations. 1 year in hibernation, I be in full levitation. That means I got the hermetics on rap like Tutankhamun's mummification. The earth's my patient, I prescribe the medication. But first I gotta plant a seed in your mind with sperm energy fertilization. The spirit speaks in thoughts.
The air absorbs the flame talk.
Warps flows towards the waters.
The earth becomes the source.
5 elements,
Electromagnetics.
unified thoughts.
The spirit speaks in thoughts.
The air absorbs, the flame talks.
Walks flows towards the waters.
The earth becomes the source.
5 elements.
Electromagnetics.
Unified thoughts.
I clear all diseases using a zap or orgone. My voice is organic, I absorb like codes in volcanic force. Magnetized vocals, inhale the blue thoughts. Chakra filling, spiraling my organ, unify intelligent formulas. Open